Alright, this is like a Tarantino movie. It's a non-linear timeline. In the future, you're going to see the day 33 video, and I'm going to show you at the end my tips on my cooler in my room in my Airbnb. And I'm going to say, I left and I didn't... Pigeons. I left and I didn't cash them in yet. I am back here at Orleans at the end of day 33, cashing them in. Met Herbs and Rye for dinner, happened to be close to Orleans, brought the chips. I'm gonna go inside, cash them in, and then I'm gonna do a Q&A video for you, and you're gonna see the end of day 33 before the middle of day 33. Wrap your head around that. Liquidated the tips, have cash. Now for the Q&A. First question is from Joe. Joe asked, table captains good or bad? Don't know exactly how he means it. There are some people who are just like talking all the time. Makes it entertaining. It's a fun table. Definitely fun to play when I'm on that side. Fun to deal also. People who are just like winning every hand, sometimes that's what people mean when they say table captain. In cash, I guess it's good. They're tipping. People probably tip a little more when they're winning like non-stop. In tournaments, don't really care in the least. I'm getting paid regardless of what happens at the table. Yeah, in tournaments, don't really care or probably even notice. In cash, probably notice more. And yeah, I'm cool with it. There was someone, he's been playing a lot of the mixed game tournaments here. He just makes it really fun. It could be really boring in the tournaments, especially in the early levels sometimes. He talks a lot, he's been making it fun to deal. The time goes by quickly. This one is from Mike, paraphrasing. Have you seen any players do anything really rude or out of line while I'm dealing? Some players get mad, they fold their cards very quickly. I don't think they're throwing their cards at me, they're just folding with like a lot of force, and the cards kind of go flying somewhere. I think that's the worst haven't seen anyone throw chips. Someone, I pushed into a tournament table, and the dealer who got up told me seat 1 is like talking back to seat 3 a lot. Just because she's losing, she's like mad and annoyed, and like watch out for that. I know who that is. I've dealt to her before. She can be really annoying. She can actually be really annoying when she's winning, but it's worse when she's losing. She didn't do anything incredibly out of line while I was dealing, but I could see her being like that all the time. Chris asks if there's any way for a foreigner to get a job dealing during a summer series, or specifically the WSOP. I don't know about that. I will tell you some of the forms I had to show when I got hired. You know, it's kind of like when you go to the DMV. There was like, I think one list where you could pick any 2 forms to kind of prove your identity or address. I don't know what the reason was, but there was a list with many things on it, and you could bring in any 2 of those, or you could bring in just a passport, and that would cover everything they needed to see. So you might need to have a US address. I'm not sure. I know there are a lot of people who don't speak English. I actually heard someone here playing the other day, I'm in Orleans, say that he was playing at the WSOP, and over the microphone the floor was giving instructions in Mandarin because so many dealers didn't speak English at all. So I don't know. All the information I have, I told you, but I don't know for sure. Next question, this is a great question. One player goes all in verbally, the next player throws 1 chip out, thinking it's a limp, thinking he's limping in, and he doesn't realize the player before him has gone all in. Does he get to just forfeit that chip, or is it an all in? Excellent question. What should be the ruling is that second player has called the all in. That's what it should be. But the most common ruling I've seen in my life, and this is as a player, is the floor usually just says, you know, he didn't know. Not that there's any way the floor can know what's going on in that guy's mind, but the floor says, oh, he didn't know. He could forfeit those chips that he threw in, and he could fold his cards. He's not made to call the all-in, and that's just a terrible, terrible ruling that just opens the door for so much cheating. I have seen the correct ruling, which is you called all-in, but it is by far not the most common ruling I've seen in that situation. And remember, Rice is a spoon food.